working on it a while, you know, and we kind of want to get it out there and, get it aired. That's exciting.
You're Keanu Reeves, right?
I actually got to see the Thursday night screening.
Oh, you did?
Yes, I enjoyed it.
Oh, good.
I'm looking forward. I told a friend of mine, don't worry about Constantine. Worry about Gotham. Don't worry about Constantine.
Right.
So,
Oh, that's good. That's good. It's interesting because, when you do the pilot, everyone's seeing the pilot now. We're on episode 9, just finishing episode 9, going on to episode 10, and it's like there's been such a journey. You know, it's like the pilot that feels like years ago, and there's been such a journey with the show and the character and just everything. It's awesome. I'm having an awesome time.
What's journeyed from you since pilot to episode?
Well, I mean, I think I've never done anything as an actor. I've never done anything this intense, kind of, with the schedule. I did Criminal Minds, Suspect Behavior, but we did 13 episodes of that. But it was different. It wasn't as big a role as this, and it wasn't in every day, 15 hours a day, kind of leading something, and trying to kind of set the tone for something, and set the right foundations for something to be able to grow in the right way. I think that's very important. When you do any role, is to kind of build your house upon the bricks, not in the sand. And it's funny because I look back now and it's just like the episodes kind of blend in, but then they don't. It's like that funny thing like time, right? Time is fluid. Suddenly it's like you've got 10 minutes, and the next minute it's gone in a second, and it kind of feels like that. And it's been a hell of a ride and an awesome journey, and I can't wait to carry on doing it.
Is there anything that's jumped out at you of the 9 episodes that you filmed so far that's like, this was really exciting, I can't believe I finally get a chance to do this as an actor?
Oh man, was that a pun? Jumped out like,
Yeah.
yeah man, there's been some fucking cool stuff. It's like as a fan, as an actor as well, who just loves to kind of, do stuff that's cool and fun and dark and spooky and edgy. It's like, there's been a bunch of stuff. We're introducing a bunch of characters from the Newcastle group. So we'll see Gary Lester in there, and we're also introducing Jim Corrigan. That episode with Jim Corrigan is awesome. Emmett Scanlon is fucking off the charts, pardon my French. But he's awesome, and we've had so many like great characters coming in and great actors that it's just really exciting that this world is now expanding. It's awesome.
Well, as Constantine's got quite a lot of baggage, do you think he's got some redeemable qualities that are starting to come in the show?
I think that, like, in terms of, I think that as one biggest redeemable quality is that he's a humanist. It's like, yeah, he's an utter bastard, and he'll try and he'll go about achieving what he needs by any means necessary, but he can't but help humanity. Do you know what I mean? He has to there's something in him that has to save humanity, even though he hates everybody, probably. He doesn't want hell to interfere, doesn't want heaven to interfere. That's what I love him. He's a working class anti-hero. He's like, I've actually played that song on my guitar, a working class anti-hero. But he is that. He's a man of the people. And I think in the earlier comics as well, that when there's all the political stuff with Thatcher, he is a man of the people, and that's a huge lovable quality about him. Is he's there for the everyman, and ultimately, he'll kill his best friend to save 1,000 people. But if the best friend is the one that is the most important to save, then he'll kill 1,000 people. It's whatever's for the greater good. I think that's a great quality.
As an actor, is there any past films or books that you drew on to create this character, other than Constantine himself, of course?
Yeah, lots. I've been watching a lot of kind of like I watched all the Exorcist films again. Like I've been watching lots of stuff on YouTube in terms of real life exorcisms and stuff like that. Researching, and it's funny because we're doing an episode at the moment, which and I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, but I'll just say that I needed to watch The Exorcist for it again. So I watched all 3. And then I get freaked out, man. It's like you go to work 15 hours, and then you go home and you're like, okay. And then you pick up a comic or you stick on a scary movie, and it's like, you know, you see a shadow walking outside your door at the night, and you're like, you know, you're constantly in this world, and it's like, you know, if you know, I don't know if any of you guys were at Comic-Con in San Diego, but I was probably a lot, you know, brighter then, because now I'm like, yeah, but yeah, there's lots of different movies, and also as well, like there's a great movie with Gene Hackman that Neil Marshall told me to watch, just in terms of the kind of the style of acting, which was the French Connection. So I watched that early on in terms of just his brashness and kind of what he's like, and he's awesome, Gene Hackman. It's a great movie, but yeah, I try to do as much I try to keep as much things going on outside of the scripts and the work as possible. You know, like carrying on reading the comics, watching movies and stuff to kind of help influence me. But it's hard because you're working, you know, all the time, so you don't have much time to do that. But I try as much as I can to keep those influences going so that it can grow.
It's kind of I feel like it's an awful question, but it's kind of the inverse of that. Did you watch Keanu Reeves as Constantine and say there's anything there that I want to take or anything there that I want to definitely get?
It's funny because like I saw the movie way before I knew anything about this world really. A good friend of mine who owns a comic book company called Improper Books, that was a plug. But no, he writes his own comics, and he's actually produced a few movies that I've done myself, and he was always talking about Constantine and like how he's his favorite character and Hellblazer, and I didn't put two and two together until kind of I watched the movie, and I kind of see it as like a standalone thing. Do you know what I mean? It's its own interpretation, but I hadn't read the material, so it wasn't linked to that for me. So I came to the material later, so the movie's in a different place in my head. You know, if for me the movie it's a standalone thing, and I enjoyed it, but it's different in my head to kind of when I started delving into these comics and the kind of world that's going on in there now.
Sorry guys, last question.
I'm sorry. What characters are you hoping to show up? So like, you know, like Swamp Thing. That's where John really starts
that'd
up.
be cool.
Would you like Swamp Thing? Who else? Anybody else that you think that you'd like to do if you could?
Or if I can add to that real quick, or anything that you've read in your research that you would like to see adapted or you'd like a shot at.
Well, we're starting kind of where the comic books kick off. So we've got the whole canon in front of us. So what's great is, and obviously wherever the writers want to take it, we're actually taking some direct stuff from the comics, some direct stories from the comics, and then other stuff we're kind of, you know, weaving ourselves. And like my favorite so far, and I've still got a lot to read, is The Dangerous Habits. But you know, I know, man, it's badass. Man. I was just like, fucking hell. I was just like, it's great. But like, I don't, you know, it'll take us a long time to get there, and that's good because that gives me time to grow to get there. Do you know what I mean? It's like as an actor, you know, what's great about this medium is you get a chance to really develop something. And I feel like even from the pilot to now, there's just been such a journey. And like everybody, you know, production, the writers, I think when you start a new show, you know, everything gets better, and it's got better, and we're really at a place now where we're kind of, I feel like, without sounding too overconfident, but I feel like we're really in a place where true fans of the comic will be happy. Especially there's some episodes, man, with directly lifted out of the comics, and there's a few little tweaks, you know, to the medium of TV, but they're great, man. It's cool. Sorry, I get excited.